The following program is sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.
Welcome to Building Wisconsin. I'm Stuart Keith, and on today's show, we're learning more about the new Mulva Cultural Center being built here in downtown De Pere, Wisconsin. So let's get started with Trevor Martin from Local 400. Well, Trevor, a beautiful day here in the Fox Valley, and look at this beautiful, soon-to-be an iconic structure of downtown De Pere.
Right, Stu. Today we're here at the Mulva Cultural Arts Center in De Pere, Wisconsin. Really excited to be here. We're going to talk to our partners in the industry, Garot, today, and a really exciting project. We're really happy to be a part of it.
And before we get into it, I want to touch on and learn more about the role Local 400 plays on it, because I know that they provide the labor for a project like this, right? In the plumbing and steam fitting aspect.
Right. Our role, like you said, is to make sure that our employers, like Garot and everybody else, has the skilled people they need to go and be successful in a project like this, right? Like, there's risk involved in a project like this. There's risk in any project, and you need confidence to go bid a project like this. Well, if you don't have confidence in your labor force, and you don't have confidence in the skill of your labor force, it's hard to go out and be confident you can get in a project like this. So we help provide that confidence to these employers that I'm going to take on an endeavor like this. We know that we can call plumbers and steamfitters Local 400, and we can get the skilled manpower, the plumbers, the fitters, the HVAC techs, the fabricators, anything we need to get this project done. We'll get it done with those people on time and on budget.
And when you look at the model that you guys are utilizing there, what's great for the employers that I always like is that they can ramp up and ramp down as needed, right? They can give you guys a call the hall, say, hey, I need 17 individuals to help me out with this project here. It's a 6-month or 2-year project, and you don't know. You might, at the end, if there's a lull, they can go back to the hall, or they can keep those on.
Right. You think about a project of this magnitude, and even some smaller ones or even larger ones in this, look at it from a safety aspect. This job site doesn't have to be full of people if you don't need the people on the job, right? Sure. So you ramp up the schedule, you bring in the people when you need them, and then they come back to us. We continue to train them when they're not working for that contractor, and then they go back to work for maybe a different project, or they come back to this project. So just like you say, that employer has that flexibility on their project to just ramp up, ramp down, move people around. Okay, maybe there's a different project we can put people on. So a lot of unique things for those employers to be able to do with our members.
Yeah, and training is at the forefront of everything you guys do. I mean, because these projects are getting more and more complicated all the time. Schooling's important, math is important, and you guys put on courses to keep them ahead or at the forefront of the industry.
Yeah, correct, Stu. Just down the road, about 15 miles south of here, we have our 61,000 square foot training center located in Kaukauna, Wisconsin. And there, like you said, we're doing hands-on training, we're doing classroom training. You'll be on the site today, you'll see some technology being used. We're really trying to double down on that training at our facility as well. So the welding, the math, the science, any aspect of the trade that they're refining and honing out here on the job site, we're helping them out too in the training center as well, getting them immersed in that.
What's that lead to? Peace of mind for the contractors.
Right.
And as I understand it, you don't have to be a contractor with 400 employees. I mean, you can be a smaller shop as well and take advantage of the services.
Exactly. Like our contractor base is broad and wide. So we have anything from a contractor with 2 or 3 members, or anything with a contractor that has 200-300 members. And like you said, that partnership and that confidence that those employers get, regardless of the scope of the project, regardless of the complexity of the project, we can get this done. And we're going to use our partners in the industry, UA Local 400 and their manpower, to complete it.
Well, speaking of UA 400, you guys have actually been around for a number of years, and you're actually celebrating in a specific anniversary.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Stu. We're really excited about it. So the first organization that ever was affiliated with our contractors in the area came out of Oshkosh in 1894. In the Green Bay area, we started in 1903, and Appleton in 1904, and then through time and through consolidations, Local 400 was formed in 1997. So this year, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary, which is really cool because not just it's a celebration for us, but it's a time for us to kind of reflect and you look back and see how we shaped the community over the last 25 years. You know, our members live and play and work, and this is their community. So it's really cool for us to just think back and reflect on what we've done over the last 25 years. It's cool to recognize the partnerships that we've had over the last 25 years with our employers. And then, yeah, then you bring it all together and say, okay, yeah, there's like a three-legged stool here. You know, you have the community, the employers, and us. And so that partnership, it's just cool to recognize that and celebrate that 25th anniversary.
Sure, hats off to everybody who came before and all the current members now.
Right.
I mean, the future looks bright. There's a lot of building going on, and I really appreciate you setting the stage for us, and I'm catching another.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. Appreciate you coming up.
Well, John, I really appreciate you coming on Building Wisconsin today. And let me tell you, I've been on a lot of construction sites, but this is really unique as I look at it.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible facility, really a world-class facility. A lot of glass, fancy stonework, just a complicated building. It's going to really be magnificent here in De Pere.
One of the more challenging ones you've worked on?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of complex systems. It's a complex structure. Definitely keeping me on my toes.
You know, and I look at it just in the skeleton phase here, as I like to call it. All the steel is coated in a white coating, yet you told me it's going to be, you know, hidden behind all the walls. I think it's kind of cool how it looks now.
Yeah, it does look really neat with this white steel. You don't see that often. There'll be finishes through this building that I think will really surpass this, but It does look neat.
Well, before we get into what you guys are up to today, let's step back and talk about really the contractor hierarchy here. On a project like this, who is the general, and then how does that all work with all the subs underneath it?
Yeah, so Mortensen is the general contractor here. They oversee the whole project, the day-to-day operations, set the schedule. They schedule all the subcontractors, footings and foundation package. There's an excavation contractor, iron workers setting all this white steel you talked about, plumbing and HVAC systems, piping systems, electricals here. So yeah, there's a lot of contractors.
A lot of coordination. I mean, that's got to be, communication is a key, especially on something this complicated.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's morning stand-down meetings where all the foremen get together and plan out their day and their work activities, and it definitely is a lot of coordination to keep things on track. And
I got to believe that, like so many big projects, safety is paramount.
Oh yeah, Mortensen really holds their job sites to a high standard of safety, and same with Local 400 and Tweet Garot. And safety is just so important. No one wants to get hurt.
Awesome. So what is your role with Tweet Garot, and specifically on this project?
So I'm a project manager with Tweet Garot. So I oversee the HVAC and plumbing trades on this project. I make sure the guys installing our systems have what they need, the information they need, the materials, so they can be efficient, and we end up with a good product in the end.
Yeah, because it seems like on these projects now more than ever, I mean, time is of the essence. You want to stay on time and on budget.
Yeah, that comes with a lot of planning, the coordination, the modeling, scheduling your time to be working in certain areas so everybody can be efficient with their work. A lot of prefabrication that goes into a building like this.
So it keeps you busy on a daily basis. I bet there's always a new challenge every day.
Oh, for sure. There's plenty to do. There's always things coming up. Even when you think you've got things headed off, there's new issues to overcome.
Okay.
But it's great. It's great.
Perfect. Well, I see some of your guys down there. It looks like they're laying some in-floor radiant heat. Can we go take a look at what they're doing?
Sure. Let's check it out. So Stu, here what they're doing, they're installing radiant tubing. This tubing will heat and cool this building. I believe they have over 4 miles of tube already installed and probably another 4 to go in these floors.
What I find interesting is they're going to also use it to cool the building. I never thought of radiant energy being used to cool. You always hear about radiant heat.
Yeah, they have a geothermal system. There's 95 300-foot deep geo wells on the property here that'll be used to condition this water to heat and cool.
And again, so that the viewer understands, I mean, you're placing these tubes strategically per the plan, laying it out, and this pan decking here, this is going to be filled in, covered up with concrete. And it's imperative, as I understand it, to make sure that this tubing right here is centered in the concrete. You don't want it too high, too low, because you're trying to create a thermal mass, right? Once the fluid runs through it.
Yeah, there's a pretty elaborate design with this tubing that lays it out where it's supposed to be and the calculations run. So you're getting the right amount of heat transfer to heat the mass and efficiently heat the space that it's supposed to.
And you know, to me, super technical, all this stuff. And they're making it look easy, but that's really a testament to the training they've gotten before arriving on site here?
Yeah, it's the training they've received, training at Local 400, on-the-job training that they've received, training from the other journeymen that they're working with that have experience doing this.
Sure, it's imperative that the knowledge from the journey workers gets passed on to the apprentices. And do you have both working here?
Yeah, we do. It's nice to keep a ratio of journeymen to apprentices, so the apprentices get some quality time working with journeymen and they can really sort of take them under their wing and teach them the trade.
And that training comes into play because you got to stay on top of all the new technology, right?
Yeah, for sure. You need to understand it and learn about it and so you can make it run efficiently and correctly. So
yeah, well, I always tell young kids when I see them, trades are a great thing to get into, but make sure you do your homework and understand math especially, right?
Math is really important. Math is everywhere. I mean, all this was laid out with math. The design, the calculations that were put into this tubing was done with math. Math is everywhere.
Yeah, and when you get into it, I mean, all these individuals, they have to understand it too to read the plans and to put it in properly, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, this is the radiant heating and cooling aspect of it, but you're also in charge of plumbing as well?
Yeah, that's correct. We're working on some plumbing down below if you'd like to go check that out.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, Stu, now we're down in the lower level. This area will be the equipment rooms, mechanical rooms, storage for the kitchen, for the displays and art. There's a full receiving area that'll be down here to unload the trucks.
So like a loading dock where they can bring the different displays or whatever's going on at this structure?
Exhibits or yeah, whatever, yep.
Okay, cool. Now, is this all plumbing that your guys put in?
Yeah, this plumbing is complete. You can see the floor drains and the cleanouts are already set. There's some pipes stubbed up. Everything's covered up. The subsoil drainage system is complete over here.
And that's all the role of the plumbers to install this. I mean, let's face it, most of us never get to see it at this stage. It's going to be covered in concrete. You'll see a few floor drains. But think about how important all this is, because you get one chance to do it right cost effectively. Yeah, sure, you can come in after the fact if it's screwed up, but you don't want that. I mean, you'd have to remove concrete. So everything has to be so precise to have the complete plumbing system operate, and it starts right from the bottom up.
There's a lot of layout. The total station, utilize that to get the points, but just laying out walls. I mean, the pipes need to come up when the masons come and start building block walls.
And you know what, you think about plumbing, you think, oh, plumbing's underground, it's in the floor. Well, I look above, that's a ceiling to us, but a floor to there. Is that all plumbing and floor drains?
Yeah, those are all drains and floor sinks for the kitchen area above. So eventually those will have a grease waste drainage system piped to them to an exterior grease interceptor.
Yeah, this is so cool being able to see it at this stage. Now, I saw your guys working over there. Can we take a look?
Yeah, let's go check it out.
You know, that's pretty cool. I just saw the guys over here working, and that was interesting how that was able to cut through that pipe. That was a totally different system, not the old Sawzall construction in the past.
Well, this is no-hub cast iron pipe, and there's a few different methods to cut it, but yeah, this chain cutter, it works pretty slick, and with the cordless tools and power tools, it's a very efficient way to cut cast iron pipe.
And again, these guys are making it look easy, but that's a testament to their training. Now, over here, here's an example of some of the high-tech equipment they're using, eh?
Yeah, there's robotic total station. It's technology they're using to lay out where all these pipes come up. There's really nothing in this area to measure off of, so.
Get out of here. So all these things that are on sticks here, that is what provides the precise measurements needed to lay this out properly?
Yeah, there's a building model, and there's points that are calibrated into that machine and this tablet, and all our points and drawings are in there, and they'll tell you where every pipe goes, every floor drain goes.
So they can just move that around wherever they need to, set it up, and then based on that whole plan and the model, it'll tell them where they are and what needs to be done and at what pitch, at what precise location in the floor?
Exactly, yeah. They utilize this for the underground plumbing, any other layout, hangers it gets used for.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
It's really getting to be a major tool.
What is this going to be here?
So we're standing in the boiler room. There'll be boilers in here. They're getting ready to put some floor drains in.
And again, all this underground, I call it, under slab plumbing, is that all going to leave the building and get tied directly into the city sewer?
So from the level we're on, it's going to be pumped up because we're below the city sewer. All the sewage above us will go out by gravity to the city sewer.
Okay, you know, on a project of this magnitude, we've been on some other big ones with Building Wisconsin, and what was up and coming was off-site fabrication. And is that playing a role from Tweet Garot's standpoint on some of these systems?
I'm a huge proponent of fabrication. The more hours you can spend in the shop reduces the hours in the field. It's a safer, controlled working environment. The repetition, everything is readily available in a controlled environment, shipped out, ready to install, as needed delivery. It's a lot more controllable.
Well, by the looks of things, these buildings and these projects aren't getting any easier, that's for sure. They're pretty complicated, but at the end of the day, what a testament to the hardworking, highly skilled people that are here building it. I mean, now the community can be proud of this building once it's done.
I think everyone working here is really proud of this building and proud to be part of it. Honestly, can't wait to bring my family here someday when it finally opens up.
Sure, I can just hear the pride in your voice and be able to walk through and say, I played a big part in this along with all the other individuals that are here. So it's been great having you on today's show. I always like getting a behind the scenes look, especially of an iconic structure like this. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Well, Marv, I really appreciate you coming on Building Wisconsin today. And you know, I was here about 3-4 weeks ago and we were walking through and looking at some of the construction going on. And today I just walked through, and what a change has happened in that short amount of time. We are so fortunate here in the state of Wisconsin to have the highly trained, highly skilled workforce to build iconic structures like this.
It's amazing. The building every week has a new feature, something that's new and looks great. Over the next week, you're going to see the glass going on the building, and it's going to take it to another level. As you come across the bridge, the full glass facade on the west side is going to be amazing.
So all across is going to be a sheet of glass.
Full glass on this whole west side.
Is that going to be beautiful when you're coming up the river, when you're crossing a bridge, when the sun's setting and you get some reflection? It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
Now, throughout today's show, we learned about some of the different construction aspects, and we didn't have time to see all of them, but it was really neat, again, to see the skilled craftsmen working. We wanted to catch up with you to learn more about exactly what the Mulva Cultural Center is and what people can expect once the doors open.
Sure. The main feature is a 10,000 square foot exhibition hall, which can be divided in different sizes. So there's a lot of space for physical exhibitions. But then there's also a 200-person auditorium that has a state-of-the-art LED screen.
And it's not just for adults. I mean, kids are very important to the Mulva family, and there's going to be exhibits for them as well.
It's actually geared more toward children. It's got a bus lane for loading and unloading children. So there's been a lot of thought into how children in schools can enjoy the space. There's 2 classrooms inside the building, so if teachers want to have a teaching moment inside of the building, they can actually have some of their class taken inside the building as they're looking at one of the exhibits.
And so if you happen to be a teacher from an area community or from wherever, they can probably contact them when it's open and set up a time they can bring their class up here.
We'll have someone that's their full-time job, is looking at how can we bring different schools, different students here to enjoy the center.
That is awesome, because I know that's very important to the Mulva family. They just thrive on seeing kids thrive in an educational environment, and what better way to get some culture in their life by coming up here. Now, what is your role in this project?
It's facilities management, so that's a pretty broad spectrum, but it's making sure everything is working. The systems that you saw earlier today for HVAC, that's a pretty involved system. Making sure that we have the people here to run that system. Then it's security, it's the internet connection, it's making sure that the building can operate at building.
Sure, facilities maintenance. This doesn't run if they don't have you doing your job. So there's a lot of pressure on you to make sure that it's up and running properly on a daily basis.
There's a team of people that it's going to take to run this facility.
Well, you know, De Pere is so fortunate to have the Mulva family being from here, being philanthropists as they are, and not only on this project, but with numerous ones. But when it comes to this project, what is the best way for the community to thank them?
That's an easy one. It's come and enjoy. This project is from the vision and the extreme generosity of the Mulva family, and just to have people come and use the facility would be the best payback.
And so far, it's on schedule?
On schedule. It's been a tough environment, but between our contractors and our trade partners, they're doing what it takes to get it done.
Well, it's awesome having you on. We can't wait to have it open. I'm going to go catch up with Mayor Boyd to see what it means to the city of De Pere. Thank you very much for coming on.
Great. Thank you.
Well, Mayor Boyd, it's great to have you on Building Wisconsin, and throughout today's show we've been learning about the Mulva Cultural Center, and we wanted to have you on to get your thoughts on what it's going to mean to the city of De Pere.
Hey, thanks for having me. We're just really excited. This is one of the largest building projects in the state of Wisconsin that we've probably seen in quite some time. So for us to be part of this building project and to see how it's been growing over the last, year and a half or so, and kind of waiting for the finish of it in 2023, we couldn't be more excited.
Sure, and when we talk about what it means to the community, there are a lot of spin-offs with iconic projects like this, and fortunately in Wisconsin we have quite a few of them going on, although this is indeed one of the larger ones. some of those spin-offs include, construction jobs, infrastructure projects. I mean, it really is going to be a big benefit beyond just how beautiful it looks to the community.
Yeah, and we have the construction folks here right now, and obviously we'll have more construction folks around here with the spin-offs going on. And then we'll also have the folks that are working within the Mulva Cultural Center moving forward. So lots of people coming in town, and yes, construction jobs, great for the community.
And what about the location of the Mulva Cultural Center? I mean, it seems like it's perfectly located along the Fox River.
Yeah, I mean, we're a city that's blessed to have a river run through it, so we have an east and a west side. So we're in what's known as Wells Park on the east side of De Pere, right by the bridge. So this location right here, and I'm sure this is why they selected it, gives a great vantage point to the Fox River, to the west side of De Pere, and to all of De Pere. So this location and this area of De Pere is very historical and very meaningful, not just to the Mulva, but to all De Pere residents.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome when somebody's coming down the river and they see this. It's going to be a beacon. It's going to be a lantern, almost inviting you to come and visit.
And purposely for them, it was centrally located right in our city. So this is in the midst of everything. This is the hub. And from what they do here, will spawn off many other projects very nearby, not just by them, but by others as well.
Yeah, very exciting times here in De Pere.
Yep, very exciting times here in De Pere. It's not just the start. We've had stuff going on the last, couple of years, and it'll continue over the next few decades. But this surely is a catalyst that will continue.
Sure, and this is just one of the wonderful donations that the Mulva family has gifted to the city of De Pere. I mean, they're quite far-reaching, as I understand.
They really are. So they built a school a couple years back, and obviously that involved a number of folks. And they've been very active on St. Norbert campus as well, with a couple of construction projects. So their footprint and their impact on construction and the growth of De Pere, both at St. Norbert and De Pere, has been outstanding.
It seems like they're very proud of being from this area.
Yeah, they're very proud of being from De Pere, very generous people, and love to give back to De Pere, and we're embracing them.
Once this Mulva Cultural Center is open to the public, what's the best way to thank the Mulva family?
That's a great question. They're kind of people that don't need to be thanked. This is their enjoyment.
Well, it was great the way Marv had mentioned earlier in the show. He said the best way to thank them is to utilize it. I mean, it's here to be enjoyed by not only the local community, but from the region around the greater De Pere area.
Yeah, and I just don't think people realize exactly what this impact will be. We realize what it's going to be and how great it's going to be for this area itself and how things are going to, spawn off as a result of it. But yeah, it's just going to be something for generations that will enjoy this facility.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming on, and I can't wait till it's open. I'm sure you can't wait either.
I can't either. We're very, very excited. Thanks for having me.
For more information on Building Wisconsin, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to watch additional episodes on YouTube or at our website, buildingwisconsintv.com. The preceding program was sponsored by the Building Wisconsin Television Network.